Now, before we leave the subject of the Premier, Kilmarnock chairman Bill Costley has been talking frankly this week about the way ahead, not only for his own club, but also for local rivals, Ayr United. Chick Young reports.
Killie's progress over the last few years has been astonishing, and much of that has been down to the financial backing of the late Jim Moffat. Mr Moffat owned 80% of the club, and that shareholding has now been passed on to his son Jamie, who is not a football fan. The second biggest shareholder is Chairman Bill Costley with only 4.9%. So what happens next?
There's 2 or 3 options actually. That, I've been in discussion with my own accountant and to get my position clarified. But I only want what's best for Kilmarnock Football Club. And if there's any investment coming in from myself, I would like to take up the new shares in the company rather than buy Mr and Mrs Moffat's shares out. But I think that's probably the way it'll go. Kilmarnock fans shouldn't be concerned. As long as I'm presiding over the board, the club will go forward. There's no question about that.
Meanwhile, Ayr United, one of the clubs told by the Scottish Premier League that their facilities, or lack of them, would exclude them from a place in the top division, have shock allies, deadly rivals Killie.
There's no way that Kilmarnock will be party to any stopping anyone coming on board. And we as a club will cooperate as much as we possibly can. And I'm quite sure I speak for all the chairmen in the Premier League, that'll be the case. You know, there's I mean, really the ideal scenario is 14 or 16 clubs, and hopefully the clubs in the first division will come up to what's needed to get into into the Premier League, and hopefully they'll achieve that.
So contrary to what was said, Bill, and your greatest rivals indeed, Ayr United, who at the moment are stadiumless, but if they could get themselves a stadium and everything, you'd be the first to back this.
Absolutely. I mean, it's in our interest for United to be in the Premier League. I mean, they've got a very go-ahead chairman. You know, I mean, they've got a chap there that's has got the company to build a new stadium, and I mean, we'll support Ayr as much as we possibly can. We spoke initially about Jim Moffat, Jim Moffat's input. If Airdrie had a Jim Moffat and if Falkirk had a Jim Moffat, Ayr United had a Jim Moffat 6 or 7 years ago, they'd probably win the Premier League. I mean, anyone with aspirations should be allowed to get there. I mean, if it was a closed-door shop, the Premier League, 10 clubs and 10 clubs only, and that was it, there's no way that we would be party of that. I mean, it just wouldn't happen.